Let's go on to your teachings of Chassidus. Which part of it excites you the most? If you were to take one part of it, what do you think would be the most
Okay,
exciting
so this
part?
is this is this is ironic and interesting. Um, at this point, I have a team of people who are helping me. I have a manager who makes everything happen. I have an editor who founded the website that I want to mention her name. His name is Mrs. Yocheved Seidman. She
Mm.
founded the website. It's close to 20 years ago, and it's an incredible story. She was living in Turkey, and she was doing her doctorate, and she found Rabbi Yossi Paltiel, who had what was called Chabad in cyberspace, which is the father of
Chabad.org.
Chabad.org online.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought her to Judaism, to Torah values, remotely. I think she flew
Hmm.
into his funeral. I mean, that was the kind of relationship she had with him.
Wow.
So she was one of the early people who the internet facilitated her exposure to Jewish life and Jewish practice. And she always felt like she wanted to give something back. Now, when
Mm.
I met her, she was already married, I believe. And she came to my classes at Machon. It goes back, again, 20 years, maybe 25 years. And I had a class full of girls, and I had more tape recorders than girls. I'd have 12 girls in the classroom. And I started
Right.
I figured if 9 girls could put on tape recorders, maybe I should put the 10th one down. So I started recording myself probably 10 years into my teaching. And I would just save the tapes. I had no idea what was going to become of them. So she said, would you like to put your classes online? I said, of course. So she initially took the audio cassettes and changed them to the electronic form. And she birthed Inside Chassidus. It's her credit.
Mm.
And now she edits all of my classes. And it's a labor of love for her. She's very skilled and she's very
Mm.
smart. And we have very different backgrounds. So we are able to bounce off each other what is correct and what is incorrect, what is too provocative, what's not provocative enough. And that's how it works. And then we have a young man who does the shorts where he takes from my classes little excerpts, which I can't stand because they always make me sound like a hysterical radical, but that's what people are interested in. So
Right.
the reality is that in the last year and a half, I've gotten a larger audience because of my shorts. A lot of people listen to my stories. I have a lot of the history of Chabad. I have the biographies of each one of the Chabad rebbes in very great detail. And there's a section on the site which is called the History of the Chabad Rebbeim. I don't know what it's called precisely, but you have a whole biography of the Baal Shem Tov and the Magid and the Alter Rebbe of each one of the Chabad rebbes. And a lot of people listen to my stories. And then there are a lot of people who like my Fabrengens, which means my informal talks where I talk about an event or a time. But the truth of the matter is, if I had it my way, I'd be teaching Hasidic philosophy all day long. The problem is,
Mm.
my audience for that is very small. The
Mm-hmm.
percentage of people who enjoy what I enjoy most on my website is probably 10%. So I have to balance what I love to do with what people love. People want things that are a little
What,
lighter, not that
so what
heavy.
part what part like excites you the most? What is it that you love the most?
So if you go to my
What is
website,
that 10%?
if you go to my website, I have a section called My Modim, which means Hasidic Discourses. We have by now well over 900 of our Rebbe's Maimorim recorded, edited, and posted. In the 40
Mm-hmm.
years from 1951 till 1992, the Rebbe said between 15 and 1600 Hasidic discourses. We have more than half.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of our challenges. We would like to complete that. It's incredibly time consuming, but that's what I love. In
Mm-hmm.
addition, from the fifth Rebbe, Rabbi Shalom Deber, called the Rebbe Rashab, whose Chassidus it's the most orderly and the most streamlined. It's the Chassidus that the boys learn in yeshiva for the most part. I have thousands of classes of his Chassidus. I have the entire Samach Vov, cover to cover, which is an
Mm-hmm.
essay in Chassidus, which is 800 pages long. And I
Mm-hmm.
have classes on each discourse that I taught it 20 years ago, and they're sitting there, and the boys in many yeshivas, and men and women, who want to learn Chassidus on a more advanced level, go to my website and they take these classes. And I'm a teacher to people 15, 20 years after I gave those classes. So I
Mm.
have many of the series of the Rebbe Rashab on my website. And I've been given permission by my current employer to do the Ayin Beis, which is
Mhm.
the most expansive series of my modem ever published. It's also extremely deep and concise. It's the language is far more concentrated than earlier discourses of the Fifth Rebbe. And I've been given permission that each year I can continue with my new student body from where I finished the year before. So I'll be able
Mhm.
to
To
create
do that. Wow.
this continuum. And this is what I love. I like to
Right.
teach Chassidus. We also do now. We have what's called a glossary of Hasidic terms. I'm supposed to do one each week. They're short clips, 10 to 15 minutes, where I talk about ideas in Chassidus in alphabetical order. And we've touched on a lot of, there's several hundred of them already available online. And people find them and they help people
Mhm.
and they're
Wow.
learning.